CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
Good evening. Albertans took to the streets of 20 cities and towns today for the Alberta Federation of Labor's Provincial Day of Protest. Organizers say while the event may have been started by the labor movement, they believe it has grown to represent more. CTV's Connor Hogg was at Edmonton's march.
From the Stanley Milner Library in Edmonton's downtown, Alberta Federation of Labour President Gil McGowan led Albertans on a march through the city's streets. Attendees say they came out because they felt they had no choice.
It's my great-grandchildren's home, and it's for the future generations. We Indigenous people think of 7 generations ahead. Daniel Smith thinks of immediate monetary gain.
I feel strongly about keeping our province in Canada. That is really my biggest motivation.
I want our leaders to tell the truth, stop gaslighting Albertans.
McGowan stopped briefly for a mid-March interview.
When people ask me what the day of protest about, as I say, look around. It's everything from separatism to two-tier health care to attacks on education, attacks on our constitutional rights, including the right to strike.
He then led a rally at a Jasper Avenue park.
When are we going to fight back? No! It starts here.
This is my first time being at a protest and being with so many like-minded people. The feeling of community, it's overwhelming.
In a statement to CTV News, the press secretary for the Minister of Jobs, Economy, Trade and Immigration says the government is continually responding to the issues on the minds of Albertans, such as healthcare, education and affordability. It goes on to say today's protest was a political stunt by Gil McGowan, and the province will continue its work to keep Alberta the best place to live, work and raise a family.
I think it's laughable to hear anyone from the UCP saying that their government is focused on the issues that matter to Albertans.
McGowan says his movement has grown beyond labour concerns and future protests are planned. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Statistics Canada says the Canadian economy has slipped into a technical recession. Economic growth stalled in the first quarter of this year, and real gross domestic product was slightly negative on an annualized basis. The agency is blaming higher imports of gold. It also points to a weak month of March for Canada's resource extraction industries, such as mining, oil and gas, and forestry. Real GDP has now declined for 2 consecutive quarters, which meets the definition of a technical recession. With weeks of high oil prices and increased provincial revenue because of them, calls are being made for the provincial government to remove its 13-cent gas tax. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, while it would provide immediate financial relief for Albertans, some believe it's better in the long run to wait.
Gas and food and vehicle repair, stuff like that, it's, living from paycheck to paycheck, basically.
It doesn't matter what the price at the pumps is. Doug Mann has to fill his truck twice a week to get to work. He says not having the added provincial tax on fuel would really help out.
So I'd be saving probably $70, $80 a week.
He's not alone.
I'd just be able to live, honestly.
We are hearing that whole affordability plea, and it's coming from real people, from working people. So we think it's the government's responsibility to provide tax relief.
As part of the Alberta Fuel Tax Relief Program, tax rates at the pumps are adjusted quarterly. If the average price of oil is at or above $90, the tax is suspended. Based on the regulations, the soonest Albertans could see a tax break would be July 1st. The CTF and NDP say the government needs to act now.
This is one thing that the government can do in very short order that has immediate impact on so many Albertans.
The former CEO of the Alberta Petroleum Marketing Commission believes it's best to wait. While Alberta may be making money, he says it's only a few months into the fiscal year and no one knows what oil prices will do the rest of the year.
So I think it's probably better just to keep the rules. Yes, it hurts everybody in the pocketbook, but we had a $9 billion deficit coming into this fiscal year, and it's better for us to make sure that this deficit is eliminated and we start to put some money in the bank with these higher prices because they may not last.
That's not fair to taxpayers. It's not fair to drivers. It's not their fault that the government couldn't balance the books.
Alberta's finance minister was not available for an interview. Even though Albertans may have to wait another month for relief, they're already thinking about how to use the savings.
Oh, big difference. I can eat steak then, not pork.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province will soon require all child care centres to post visible notices if any high-risk, potentially criminal incidents happen at the facility. The notices are part of new policies to improve communication with parents and the public when incidents occur at child care centres. Right now, child care providers must only notify families if their child is directly affected. Starting Monday, notices will have to be posted in a visible area within 1 business day of an incident being reported. The province is also encouraging child care providers to post safety plans in areas visible to parents. The policy comes after parents demanded the change in the wake of sexual assault allegations at an Edmonton daycare last year. A wildfire evacuation order for 2 subdivisions west of Barrhead has been lifted. Last night, people in the Summerlee and Thunder Lake subdivisions were ordered out of the area as a wildfire spread. The order was canceled late this morning. The Alberta Emergency Alert says fires have been extinguished and it's safe to re-enter the neighborhoods. Fire department members and peace officers are helping with re-entry. The original alert reported structural fires in the subdivision. No word yet on what types of buildings may have been impacted. The towns of Banff and Canmore are on alert tonight, watching the Bow River that runs through both. This year's record snowfall is melting, and heavy rain this weekend could lead to flooding. CTV's Kevin Fleming reports.
The Bow River flows close to where Greg Bessick and his family live. They're taking a look at how much it's risen over the last few days.
I think we've lived here since 2014, and to me, it's been the highest that I've seen it.
Meanwhile, the town has taken proactive measures and laid out flood barriers.
Last night we decided just to get ahead of things and start laying things out. You'll note we haven't inflated them yet. We will do that if we have to later today.
Carrie Martins is working closely with the Town and Parks Canada to monitor the rising river to keep people in Banff safe. Roads and pathways near the river have been closed, and many people come by to get a look at the flow.
We've had high water events before. This one could be a little bit higher than we've seen for the last number of years.
At Bow Falls, the power of the river can be seen and felt as the water roars downstream while visitors record the moment.
Mother Nature's crazy, the force of it, and you just can't stop it.
John Pomeroy is based in Canmore and monitors water year-round in the mountain parks. The data he and his team collect is used for research. He says this year produced a record snowfall in the mountain parks, and now warm weather is melting.
The snowpacks are saturated. It's like a wet sponge, so any water you put into it is going to come out, and the warm rain will also melt that snow. And with strong winds, then it will melt it even faster. So this is what we have to be on guard for.
People living along Cougar Creek were hit hard in 2013 when floodwater rushed through here. Stephen Lamb says he's confident that won't happen this year.
I'm counting on the engineers to know what they are doing, and they did spend $75 million, I think, building that big retention dam upstream of me. And based on the size of that dam and the plan, I feel pretty safe that it's going to protect us.
The company working on the West LRT expansion has been fined $120,000 after a worker was seriously injured on the job. In June of 2023, a worker was struck by equipment while on the job. Marigold Infrastructure Partners, Inc. pleaded guilty this week to failing to ensure equipment was contained to eliminate potential danger. The Crown withdrew 13 other related charges. Direct Energy employees are rolling up their sleeves to support vulnerable women and children in Edmonton. Volunteers spent the day at A Safe Place, a local shelter supporting women and children fleeing domestic violence. Volunteers helped with projects like painting, gardening, and other repairs around the shelter. Organizers say the effort goes beyond upgrades. It also helps create a safe and welcoming environment for families trying to rebuild their lives.
Even day-to-day things, we rely on volunteers to help meet those needs. So this is incredibly important to make an impact.
This charity is helping women and families at a crucial time, and it's helping employees understand what some of our customers are going through.
Leaders with a safe place and direct energy hope the event highlights the importance of community support for local shelters. International soccer is returning to Commonwealth Stadium next week. Monday, the men's squad will fine-tune their game in a friendly match against Uzbekistan 11 days before they play in the World Cup. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has more on what fans need to know ahead of the game.
It's been 4.5 years since Commonwealth Stadium earned the Azteca title when Canada beat Mexico in the snow on the way to the 2022 World Cup. Commonwealth is once again adorned with the maple leaf, all set to host the first of 2 friendlies on home soil just days before this year's tournament begins. So far, more than 45,000 tickets have been sold for Monday evening's match against Uzbekistan.
That'll be the largest crowd they've played in front of in Canada prior to Azteca 4 years ago. It'll be larger than the crowd they get for the opener in Toronto.
All those people need to get to the game, and as usual, there's no parking at Commonwealth or the surrounding neighborhoods. The city says you can bike, scooter, or cab, and transit is free for those with a ticket. You can park and ride for free from most of these locations.
45,000 is, a great number, but I think we want to be able to push that as close to a sellout as possible here.
Explore Edmonton says capacity at Commonwealth will be about 54,000 for the match. There are still plenty of tickets available, as low as $54 a pop in the upper deck.
From an economic impact perspective, we're looking at north of $20 million being injected into the local economy just from one match.
There will be a free pre-game fan fest in the parking lot to help set the tone. That starts at 4:30 with kickoff at 7. Zima is looking forward to one feeling in particular.
The energy in the crowd. There's nothing like that energy when your national anthem is being sung.
If you can't make the game, you can watch the broadcast on TSN. Pre-game coverage starts at 6. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Downtown Edmonton is getting ready for a busy summer with thousands of events and activities planned. The launch of Turn Up Downtown was held at Michael Fair Park this morning. City and community partners unveiled some of the new programming coming to downtown this summer.
Public spaces across downtown over the next 7 months.
The core of the city.
Parks, its transit stations and gathering places.
But every time you're having events in the downtown and people can see and stay connected with one another, that's how you build up community. That's how you build up that feeling of safety. Just last night I was biking through Odin.
Say they hope the programming encourages people to spend more time downtown. An Edmonton school is celebrating a major milestone alongside generations of former students and staff. Our Lady of Mount Carmel Catholic Elementary School is marking its 100th anniversary. The school opened in 1925. Organizers say many alumni returned for the first time in decades to take part in the celebrations. Staff say the anniversary is a chance to celebrate the school's longtime role in the community while also looking towards the future.
Some of the things have been placed in different areas, but it's still the same bones of the school. So it's just a huge flood of memories, which is beautiful.
Organizers say the event highlights how the school has evolved over the century while remaining a familiar face in the neighborhood. Coming up next, a preview of what Edmontonians can expect at Hawrelak Park's grand opening tomorrow. Also just ahead, back at the ballpark, how the Edmonton Riverhawks feel starting their season.
I think they're going to lead the way with just presence, understanding playing at home, what it feels like in front of a ton of fans.
Good evening, folks. Awfully warm and then stormy for much of central and northern Alberta. Look at Fort McMurray before the storms rolled in, a record-setting 33 this afternoon. It's 31 in Edmonton before the afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Hot spell's over, though, and by Sunday, we'll be about 20 degrees cooler with some heavy rain. We'll look at your forecast updates.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Next week on Your Morning, when is the right time to talk to your kids about money, and does an allowance teach the right lesson? Plus, if you're craving a refresh, there may be a reason why. We'll explore how to harness that feeling.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
The Edmonton Riverhawks kicked off their season tonight. Alongside the baseball, there was also a pre-game Indigenous celebration and post-game fireworks. This was the first of 27 theme nights the Riverhawks will host this summer.
If you know every single stat on the field or not, you're still going to leave being like, that was awesome.
The Riverhawks will be throwing parties at the ballpark all season with a different theme for every home game.
If you're not an avid baseball fan, but you love singing, dancing, enjoying some comedy, enjoying a hot dog and a beer and a beautiful day, then you're going to enjoy a Riverhawks game.
It's a big reason these stadium seats are expected to be full for most games. A league record 131,000 fans packed the park last year.
It makes you want to play even better for them.
The crowd is a big reason all-star catcher Jason Green decided to return to the Riverhawks this season.
It's awesome. Like, not very many places you're going to get something like this, and to be with all the guys, everyone's so excited to play every day because we know that we have 5,000 people at the minimum in front of us every day.
He says playing here is a vibe.
Couple more. All right, how we work.
The players also want to recreate that culture in the clubhouse.
The biggest thing is being able to gel with your teammates, and if we can do that, it's going to help us a lot. Last year going to the North Division Final, the guys we brought back, they had a great experience, and we were really close to what we were trying to accomplish, right? So I think they're going to lead the way with just presence, understanding playing at home, what it feels like in front of a ton of fans.
Local rookie pitcher Cole Hubner is ready to do his part to push the team to the postseason and hear the roar of the crowd.
I have a lot of family and friends that have talked about wanting to come out and see me play, so playing in a big game like that in front of them would be super awesome.
The Riverhawks are hoping the 5th season in franchise history will be their most successful yet. Hawrelak Park is holding its grand reopening tomorrow, and the city is inviting Edmontonians to come out and enjoy. The park is sporting a $134 million makeover, which includes a new piece of public art. CTV's Nicole Weisberg has more.
On a scorching afternoon, there's no hotter place to be than Edmonton's newest restaurant on the water.
Yes, it's really good. The food's really good.
Since Lift Me Up on the Lake opened a few weeks ago in Hawrelak Park, its owner says the place has been packed.
I think we served over 1,000 people last Saturday. This is extremely busy and there's no dead time. So we open at 8, close at 10. So we still have people lingering around till 10:30.
The demand somewhat unexpected, but a wonderful welcome for this local business owner who also owns Tiramisu Bistro on 124th Street.
Edmontonians have supported us for the last 15 years at Tiramisu, and this is the time for us to give back, and we're very happy to be here.
Lift Me Up also offers to-go items. This, one of the new attractions at Hawrelak Park, after a 3-year, $134 million makeover.
Lots of new features in the park, like a whole new trail system that's complete with new signage and lighting. The parking lots and everything have been redone. We have a fantastic new playground that has just been enjoyed by so many Edmontonians already.
From 11 until 4 Saturday, there will be activities park-wide to celebrate its reopening.
I'm feeling so excited. I'm a little bit nervous. I have butterflies. It's like a huge moment for me.
Prominently featured in the park is artist Cheyenne Rain Legrand's newest work. It was completed yesterday, installed this afternoon, and will be officially unveiled tomorrow.
Essentially, it's a giant beaded earring. To have a piece that is by an Indigenous artist in celebration of Indigenous people, to have a piece here is so meaningful.
Because tomorrow is expected to be busy, there will be an ETS shuttle running between the Windsor Car Park at the university and here. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Video from southern Alberta shows a man launching over a waterfall in a jet boat. Dusty Friesen and his boat, named Dent, dropped about 9 meters to the bottom of Lundbreck Falls. He was trying to break the record for a jump off the highest natural flowing waterfall in a jet boat. Friesen doesn't believe he broke any laws.
I've been looking at him for almost a year, so I've looked a few times, and I've looked on the provincial, the Parks, Alberta Parks website. searched Lundbreck Falls, any restrictions for the Crow's Nest River, any of that, and I could not find anything that says it's prohibited to launch or to run the falls.
One of his dream jumps is to go down Niagara Falls if he can improve his boat and get a permit. The Lundbreck Falls jump is being investigated by RCMP and conservation officers.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Welcome back. 16 degrees this morning, 31 for a high today. We might have gotten close to the record, 33 or even closer, had those showers and thunderstorms not developed early this afternoon. That record, by the way, goes back to last year. May 29th, it was also 33 degrees. We've got some thunderstorms still lingering across the extreme northern part of the province. Let's take you through the day tomorrow. I don't think we'll see bright blue skies, but we should see at least some sunny breaks. So we'll call it a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. Rain starts to push into southern and western parts of the province as the day goes on. Saturday night and Sunday morning, could see some snow in through higher elevations through the mountain parks. For us here in Edmonton, big story is going to be some heavier rain starting to push in. And if you're watching radar on Sunday, it's going to be moving backwards. Instead of moving from west to east, this rain is going to move from east to west. And at times, it's going to come down quite heavily. It's all thanks to this big upper level low that has replaced the upper ridge that gave us all the heat over the past couple of days. So here's your weather statement. I think these areas in gray, they're probably going to change from a statement to a rainfall warning before the end of the weekend, maybe even before the end of Saturday. Sunday to Wednesday, heavy rain and some localized flooding can't be ruled out. This is by early Monday morning in the Edmonton area. I mean, that red zone is 60 to 80. And keep in mind, there's more rain on the way Monday and Tuesday. In the purple zones already by early Monday, you can see 80 to 100 millimeters worth of rain. There's a lot of spots where we could see well over 100 millimeters of rain from Sunday through to Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. 14 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 7 in Grand Prairie. We'll be around 14 in Edmonton tomorrow morning, and then daytime highs are even cooler than that for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Mid-20s in Fort McMurray, one more warm day, 19 in Grand Prairie, closer to 20 for Red Deer, Lloydminster, Jasper 13. Here in Edmonton, 22 tomorrow, but 12 or 13 degree range for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A little breezy tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud, and then a chance of some showers late tomorrow night. I think dry for most of the daytime hours tomorrow, though. And then heavy, steady rain for a couple of days early next week, with temperatures not returning to the 20s until the end of next week.
Many young Albertans spend their summer planting trees in northern Alberta and BC. They may find inspiration to pick up the pace after a Vancouver tree planter broke the world record he'd previously set in our province. CTV's Ben Milger has the story.
Well, have to adjust the technique.
Antoine Moses has planted about 2 million trees in his career, mostly in North America. Last month, he traveled to Kenya to plant mangroves for the first time.
I went there 2 weeks in advance, learned from the local community, planted trees with them, learned the technique, making sure we're planting the trees right, the right momentum, the right places, and the right timing, and we just ended up breaking the world record.
Supported by a team of locals, Moses managed to plant an astonishing 47,460 trees in just 24 hours, an average of 32 a minute. It is his second Guinness World Record. He also holds one for planting 23,060 trees in 24 hours in Alberta 5 years ago.
For me, it's more about the total impact I can create on this world, like the footprint I can leave, and the fact that I know I've planted 2 million trees and I want to plant another 2 million and maybe more.
Moses has partnered with Veritree, a company that not only plants tens of millions of trees around the world, but also monitors their progress and the impact they have on surrounding landscapes and communities.
It's so much more than just about putting trees in the ground. It's about empowering communities, providing these jobs, looking at the forest adjacent programs that the forest can help benefit, as well as setting these areas up to naturally regenerate themselves.
With millions of followers on social media, Moses has plans for leveraging his clout.
My goal is to help raise funds to plant around 25 million in the next few years, but not plant them on my own. So I have a team and I work with organization now to plant those trees.
It's an effort to make the world a more sustainable place, one tree at a time. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
And just like that, we are off to the weekend. That is all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in and have a good rest of your night.